So, veteran Nigerian entertainer D'banj has weighed in on the ongoing rift between Peter Okoye of P-Square and his elder brother and former manager Jude Okoye, describing the saga as very sad. In an interview, the Oliver Twist crooner reflected on the deep cracks in the once united Okoye family and how the prolonged tension has hurt not just their relationships but their impact. The saga between Peter and Jude is a very sad one. When you want to fight, you only know the beginning. You really do not know the end, even if you are right or wrong, he said. The bunch revealed that he recently flew with Peter Okoye and the two shared a heartfelt conversation. While the details were not fully disclosed, the bunch said Peter confided in him, prompting him to urge dialogue and reconciliation. He stated, I am so sure that there is still a chance of reconciliation. It's all about dialogue. If it's even money issue, there is no better time because you guys own your catalog. Some global music executive have been trying to buy my catalog for over a decade, but I kept it because I know how big it can get when it is in my time. Same with P-Square's catalog. It's enormous, so they can always agree. They don't have to be a group anymore, but they can agree to resolve their issues. If it's money problem, let us have the agreement. I would like to beg anyone that is a mentor to them, because this is beyond us, their colleagues. I think it has to be someone that they would respect, if possible the nation. I know that there if possible the nation. I know that there are cases here and there, but they can still be resolved, he said. Now on this particular one, I think I would pick the side where he said they should talk to a mentor. Yeah, but do they even have mentors? And if they do, can that person actually weigh in on this matter at this point in time? I would come to you, Shaibu, on this one first off. What do you make of this particular story? And you've been following, you've seen the rifts. How does it make you feel to see one of the best Afro pop crew shatter because of this saga?
I mean, things like this is always sad. Like, I don't think it doesn't matter who is having such issues or which family are having these issues. As long as it's a family issue,
Yeah.
definitely it affects the family in some sort of way,
Okay.
which is bad. So this is actually, like the band said, it's actually sad, and like he said, it's also going to affect them, not necessarily now, but like it's probably seeing the future. A lot of
Yeah.
things this would cause for them. People could even decide to use something like this to want to cause more issue or cause harm to them.
Yeah.
So this is just sad.
Now, the bunch pointed out reaching out to a mentor. If that's the key, if this can work out, who can their mentor be, or who would their mentor be? Do we even know who their mentor is?
So with things like this, it actually depends on the individual,
Okay.
because there are some persons who have mentors that they respect so much that their words are like gold. They're like oxygen. So
Hmm.
they take their words like very, very seriously.
Okay.
So if they have such mentors in their life, definitely that's like the right approach to take. Where if the mentor could get them to sit down and talk things through, definitely there should be some headway with things.
Hmm.
So, but like I said, it depends on the individual. If they do have such mentors, probably all they have to, someone has to try and reach out to the person. But if they do have, I feel like the mentor should already be aware of things that have been going on.
Yeah.
And as we all know, a mentor is someone who definitely watches out for your growth. The
Yeah.
person is all about your development as a person, all about your success. So definitely the person might have talked to them or tried to talk to them about what is currently going on, and probably suggested a couple of ways where they could resolve all of this.
Mm.
So that's it. But like I said, I don't know. You can't say for sure if
Mm.
they do have such persons in their life.
In their life, yeah. I'll come to you. I'll come right back to you, Shai. But let me come to Ehis now. Ehis, if Shaibu made mention of having a mentor, if they have a mentor, that person might have also spoken to them already about it, and if the mentor had spoken to them or called them together to dialogue or to see that they reach an agreement, and they don't listen to that particular mentor, what other way can they go in this particular matter?
Well, it's like Shaibu said now, it's all dependent upon the individual.
Okay.
You know, and another thing is, do they have a collective mentor? Because these are two separate individuals. As much as they are brothers, they have two different lives, and more than likely, it's going to be difficult to find a singular individual that these both of them look up to and respect and will actually listen to. Maybe Jude might have somebody that does that for him, but Peter might be looking at him like, yeah, I'm not speaking to that person, or I don't respect that person's opinion. And the same can go for Peter. So if the case of a mentor, finding a mentor that's compatible for both isn't there, then honestly, because the issue is it has been on for quite a while.
Okay.
It's I don't think it's something that just sprang up. First was Peter and Paul, and now and Peter and Jude, and it just seems that there's always a new facet to it. It's been going on for long enough to know that, okay, this is something that these people have to want. It's not enough for a mentor to say, you guys have to fix this. It's something that, okay, I miss my brother. You have to realize that, and that's one thing I've come to realize. Family is important. You know, when we see them, when they are alive, when they are well, it's like, okay, I don't necessarily value them at that point. And I don't want to get to a point where something, God forbid, something happens to one of them, and it's like, oh, something happened to my brother, and always live life. You can't control tomorrow. You know, you're in your convoy somewhere, somebody just pulls out your specific car just gets hit, you lose your life, or your brother loses, you guys lose that connect. So I feel they need to understand why it's so important. You know, I think I was young when their mom died. I think watching the show, that was the first time I saw my mom crying. She was watching when the plane crashed and everything, and she felt bad, and she was looking at the whole thing because my mom loves P-Square. She loved everything about them.
Wow.
The reason that when I get married, she would make sure she brings them on and invites them to play and all that. But that's a story for another day, you know. So they have to want it as much as, because everybody wants these brothers back together. Yeah. But it appears they are not seeing the importance themselves. Because you grow up with this person, you see the person's like, oh, this person is always going to be there. We, as humans, we always have this, this person will always be there. Whenever it's time to resolve, we'll find ourselves, oh, I will never speak to him, but then something happens and you're like regretting. So they need to understand what's at stake. You know, it's not predicted. Why not just make peace? You don't have to be best buds at start. Just give it a try. Have dinner together. You know, play football together. Things that just keep you engaged. Things that just put you in that situation where you have to be in communication. And you can go from there, because they have to want it just as much as everybody else. The band wants it. That's why he's coming out to make this statement. He wants them to come back together. So
he even made mention of the whole nation coming to bed.
no, everybody likes, you know.
Yeah, they're like one of our best duos, and to have them,
they were, you know, the dominance of that duo or the trio, because there's Jude, there's Peter, there's Paul. Yeah. The dominance, because I think Jude was their manager.
Yes, Jude was in the
manager. Let's say the dominance of the trio. It was unrivaled. If you go to a wedding, they did not play P-Square that year, that couple has not gotten married. That couple has not gotten married. We have to redo the wedding. But now you hear them and it just feels all throwbacky, and you want something from these guys, but we've come to the realization that these people might not get back together. But now this is not even about them getting back together as a music group. It's about them, you know, getting back together as a family.
as a family
So
first.
that's, hopefully they want it just as much as everybody else wants it. Because if all 200 plus million Nigerians go and beg for something that these people don't want, there's no point.
There's no point if all 200,000 Nigerians beg these people. There's no point if they don't want it. Now, I'll come to you, Shaibu. In conflict resolution, as how do you settle conflict with siblings? As a sibling, you have a brother, you have a sister. They offend you or they do something that you don't like. Take for instance now, Peter feels his brothers are stealing from him. I saw a post recently where he said, family don't steal from family. Una thief, abi una no thief. He used those hashtags and they trended for a while. Now, as family members, somebody, you are in business partnership with your brothers or your sister, and you guys have an issue. How do you guys resolve that issue and not let it escalate to the extent that, okay, you people will be want to resolve? In the words of the greater he is, he said they would want to if they want to. Now, how do you resolve that conflict between you and your siblings when it arises and when it borders on money? Hello, Shaibu, are you still with us? Shaib, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I'm having a bit of network challenge. What was your question again?
Okay, I said, how do you resolve conflicts between you and your siblings if, okay, take for instance, Peter and Jude, their case, taking into cognizance this particular matter now, yeah, Peter feels cheated because he feels his brother stole from him, yeah. Now, how do you settle this amicably without allowing it to escalate, although it's already escalated? But how do you think they can resolve this particular issue?
So I used to have, or I have this rule where I tell myself, I mean, at the end of the day, we are human beings. There's only so much that you can do, especially when it comes to changing somebody's mind.
Okay.
So on your part, you should try and do everything possible that you know you can do. Maybe you offend someone, you go to the farthest length you can go to apologize, to show that person that truly you are sorry for what you did and you are ready to be a better person. You are ready to be accountable and things like that. And if you've done all of that and you're still not getting like a positive response from the person, then there's nothing you can do. You just hand it over to God. Just maybe depending on the kind of, if you're a spiritual person, sure, just go ahead, leave the matter in the hands of God. Just like how they said in the Bible, where do your best and leave the rest for God.
Mm.
So yeah, so for me, I would do the best I can to show the, if I'm in the wrong, whether or not I'm the person in the wrong, I'll try my best to make the person to reason as to why we shouldn't continue this way. We should resolve this conflict. But if I try everything possible and nothing is still happening, I will just let it go and just hope somewhere down the line the person comes to some sort of realization and see things in the light that I am seeing those things.
Now, if I'll come back to you, Shaib. He said he would hope that one day he comes back to the person comes back to the realization that, okay, we need to move past this stage. How long can that be? And while waiting for the person to come back, are things not getting worse?
Like, you cannot control other people's actions. The only thing that's ever really within your control is your reaction. That's something I've come to learn about life. How long is there ever a time frame? You know, with all these things, it can be on somebody's 80th or 90th birthday, and then somebody comes around and is like, "Oh, I miss my brother," but you know, and the time lost. That's another thing. That's why the band is so, you know, on the case of this issue, because the time you can't. Time is something you don't. No matter how much money you have, you can't manufacture more time. You know, so the time that they are losing all this, because obviously you don't, betrayal is something that is difficult to forgive, especially if it's somebody you trust.
Yeah.
That's why I tell my guys, because we're in business together, I'm like, yo, let's not lose our soul for money. Yeah, we're talking about shares and no shares and percentage and no percentage, and I said okay, as long as my bills, you guys give me enough to pay my bills, I can chase my career. And I'm not really stressing, because if we allow this issue, the money issue, to like cloud our relationship, there's almost no coming back. Last year my guy and I worked on a project, we had a similar case where towards the end of the project, I felt I got paid more, and there was a whole thing, and we agreed that the last month of payments would go to him, but there was a delay, with the project, and then the client ended up shifting the scope and shifting focus, and then that last month payment didn't come. My guys, we were beefing. We didn't say anything about it, but we just stopped. And then after a while, I was like, this guy is the person I call when I need advice. This guy is the person I call when I'm down. What are we doing? Called him up, I'm like, yo, whatever beef you think we have, score sheet is dead. See what happened in my life. After I need advice, see this babe, see this, and we started talking, So it takes it, because I realized that this is somebody I care about, and if something happens to me, it will be something that neither of us would forgive ourselves for. So betrayal is something that, although I've not been betrayed, but I wouldn't know how to react. But it's one of those things that is difficult, because you put so much trust in a person and then when the trust is gone, every interaction you go back to what has happened, and you replay it, and you're like, can I actually, like, is this person, can I tell this person this thing? Can I associate with this person in the manner I once did? Because it's always going to be playing at the back of your mind. So it's all goes back to the point of, they have to want it as much as everybody else wants it for them. If you're in the wrong, as Shaibu said, you go say, okay, I'm sorry, I realized that this thing was wrong. Let's do our best to make this work. And if wherever we can't, meet in the middle, or so, there's a compromise that needs to be made on both sides. We make it. Somebody else needs to compromise. Somebody makes the compromise. But at the end of the day, family is family. Your blood. And it's something that ultimately I feel they will regret. But it's just that pride. It took me a while to pick up the phone and call my guy. It took like 2-3 months before I picked up the phone. I was like, you
2-3 months?
Exactly.
Jesus.
No, we're still like talking scantily, because obviously we're in business together. You can't just ghost me. It's just one word replies. Oh, I need this signed, I need that signed, send this to me, I need to send this to this client, I need this reviewed. That's all.
So strictly business.
Strictly business, nothing, no calls, nothing that wasn't business. But I'm like, yo, Alpha, this thing it's not working out for both of us, man. Like, come on, give me bad advice. Let's talk. But yeah, because I wanted it, so I was going to, okay, let me compromise, because normally they tell me I have pride. They know themselves, you know yourself. You tell me I have pride. But I made that effort, because I'm like, okay, this is somebody that I care about. If something happens to him, I will be there for him. So why can't I just put this thing aside and let us speak now, before that thing happens? So they have to want it just as much as anybody else wants it. That's just my takeaway.
They have to want it just as much as anybody wants it. But are they not losing relevance? Shaibs, I'll come to you on this particular one. Now, while waiting, are they not losing relevance? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years from now, would the young ones still remember the excitement, the energy, the thrill that the millennials had when the P-Squares come into the room? Would we still have Ayisi's mom wish or plan to bring P-Square to his wedding?
I mean, to be fair,
Okay.
once you build, legacy is something that really hard to crush. I mean, except you do something very, very terrible, but legacy is something that once you build it, it's there. Like the real ones, the OGs, the day ones, they know. Just like what Emmanuel was saying, him and his friend, they had the issue, and it seems like his friend was in the wrong, but he took it upon himself because he valued the relationship. He knew that in as much as something happened and maybe I was offended, for the long run, this is going to affect both of us negatively. I'm going to lose somebody I care about because of what's worldly stuff that we could just easily have just allowed to slide
Sorted.
by and things like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the same thing with legacy. Once you build your legacy to a certain point, except you do, like I said, you do something very terrible, something horrible, that's when your legacy will just go down the drain easily. But again, this is something that it's between them. It's a family issue. Yes, it affects or some of their fans obviously do not like what's going on, but this is something between them. So people who truly care about them, their fans, their true fans, will just
Yeah.
only pray that they resolve this. But it's not going to affect the love that they have for these musicians. If truly they are the one fans.
If truly they are the one fans, it won't affect the love and the yearning to come back together, guys. A lot of people are already yearning that this guy should come back. We miss the trios, we miss the energy, we miss the ginger, we miss the ecstasy they bring to the table, their dance moves, guys. I like growing up, I know a whole chunk of young people who try to be like the P-Squares. Sheb's advice to young ones that are seeing this particular conflict.
Yes, please. Pride kills. Pride kills. Like it takes it. I know it takes a lot of courage for you to admit that you're wrong. It takes a lot of courage to be responsible and be accountable for your actions, and also be accountable for someone else. But you have to try. You have to think about the future, think about what was and what's going to be, not what is currently happening. Don't let what you see online fool you. People might be having issues online, saying all sorts of things, but deep down, they are probably hurting. Like most of these things now, we might not know. It probably hurts them more than it hurts the fans, but you just don't know it. And it's probably maybe pride between one of the parties
Yeah.
that's making them not want to resolve this issue, because I feel like whatever the issue is, you can is like come and sit and talk about what's going on and find a way to resolve it. So my advice to everyone would be, whatever is happening, sit back, think about what has been, think about what you have to lose, think about what would happen. God forbid, say I wake up tomorrow and I heard something tragic happen to the other party. How would I feel? You know,
Yeah.
would I be able to live with myself if this person were to leave? I've not resolved this
This
issue.
issue. Yeah.
So we should always try and find a way to deal with let go of pride, basically.
Let go of pride. I think that's the particular lesson I'm taking from this one. And pride kills. I'll come to you, his final words on this one and advice to young ones.
Well, well. It's just like Shaibu said now. If something were to happen to this person, can I live with myself? Is this something? Is this something I can bear? Because it's the regrets that comes from the things. We regret more the things we don't see than the things we do see. When it comes to loss, we regret more the things we don't see than the things we do see. So nobody's saying that, but life is unpredictable. You wake up and you go about your day, and you heard this person slumped and it's gone, and you're like, oh no, I should have done this, I should have done that, but it's too late now. It's so easy to get carried away when you're upset. It is, trust me, it is. I've been upset at my friends a bunch of. It's so easy to get carried away, and the thing about it is there's always some sort of justification.
Yeah.
There's always something that's
Everybody's
like,
always right.
I'm in my right. Yeah, I'm in my right. I'm allowed to react this way, and truly sometimes you are, but is that something is that something that you're willing to lose? You look at the time you've spent, you look at, okay, who this person is in my life, and then is that something you're willing to throw away in the name of, oh, I'm right and he's wrong? If it is, then it's your decision to make, but more often than not, it's not worth throwing away. And then because when the person is no longer there, you look back on this show and you're like, but this thing that actually that serious? Like when I talked to my friend and like, what we're talking was the money was the money was not down. It was not that serious now. Like, why were we acting like that? Why did we react the way we reacted? And in my case, unfortunately, we resolved it. And even when I was ill, he was there for me and all that. So it's consider it. Is this thing worth losing this person over? If you think it is, then by all means make a decision. But more often than not, it often ends in regret. So just